Floss Tube, it's Paula. Welcome back to my channel, Stitching in High Heels, where we talk about cross stitch, occasionally some other crafting, but today's going to be all about cross stitch. It's been kind of a crazy week here, a couple weeks. I recently started doing some volunteering on Saturday mornings at my local shelter, helping take care of the dogs and such, and it's amazing how much time that can take out of my weekend, and I love every minute of it, so I'm not complaining at all. And then our local dog park has been open, and the weather has been decent on the weekends too, so I've been taking our girls over. They've made some new friends, having some great time, but that's generally been my my floss tubing time on the weekends. And my husband has been working a little different schedule this week, so it's been hard to find a few quiet minutes to get a video in, but I'm here now. Well, hopefully this will go smoothly. I'm taking a quick break from work just to stop in, say hi, give you guys an update. Housekeeping items. First of all, thank you so much. I know I've gotten some new subscribers, some new viewers. If you're new here, I'm so glad you stopped by. I hope you enjoy what you see. I hope you come back. For my returning subscribers, it's good to see you. Glad to have some stuff to share with you, because I've been trying to keep up with everyone out there that I follow as well. So let's get into it, shall we? I've got some finishes, I've got a new start, I've got some whips, and as a few folks have pointed out, if you're new here, I apologize. The term whip is an abbreviation for works in progress. I've been using it since I found the online stitching community, and we were all too lazy to type out the whole works in progress label, and we shortened it to WIP. And anyway, so that's that. If I say anything else that you don't understand, definitely leave me a question and a comment. I try to answer everybody. I know I'm behind on reading comments too. I'll try to catch up with that this weekend. I do want to say thank you. I believe my subscriber's name was Marion. She pointed out that the last time I showed Coffee Quaker, I had left an F out. So I got the E that was in the wrong place frogged real quickly. I haven't gone back to working on it yet, but I do appreciate that you pointed that out to me before I got any further. Frogging over one is never fun, even if it's 25 count like what I'm working on. So let's jump into my finishes. The first finish I have is from the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher Christmas Winter magazine. It's Winter Cardinal etching from Cecilia Turner at Heart in Hand, and here it is. Pardon me, I didn't get any of these guys ironed, but this is my finish, and anyone who has the magazine, you'll notice it looks quite a bit different. I used Ash Violet by To Dye For Fabrics. It's a 32 count Belfast, and isn't that a gorgeous color? And then I updated the flosses that I used. I used DMC plain white for the trees and 321 for the Cardinal. I'm really happy with how this came out. Let me see if I can get it a little closer for you. Whoop. Let's get back. There we go. So I'm really happy with how this came out, and I know I've said before, I do have a finishing idea for this. I just haven't had any time to get to that either. I'll also link To Dye For Fabrics down below. She's been getting some shipments from her distributors, so she's got more fabric, and she's been dyeing. I think I got a notice. I've got my other last order is in the post office today, so I'm excited to get that and pick that up. So that was finish number one. I've got another finish. This is the piece that I was taking to work with me. This is Coffee Corner by Stonehouse Stitchworks, excuse me. I won this chart in a giveaway from Laura at Stitching by the Shore. If you're not watching her, definitely check her out. She's really good about having a weekly video, sharing what she's up to, and she's got some great works in progress, and I really like her color choices. She's really good about swapping up some fabrics. So this is stitched on 20 count Aida in Vintage Country Mocha. I think I've said before, I'm considering using 20 count Aida for some of the Hawk Run Hollow charts, and I wanted to see how it was to work with. I enjoyed this. Got quite a big piece here. I got a fat 1/8, so I'll have some other pieces coming on this soon, probably some other smalls. I did use the called for DMC for this, but I also did make a bit of a change. I don't know how well you can see it here. It shows up in person, but there's a little heart-shaped kind of cloud of steam there. It was supposed to be stitched in this darker brown, and that just, I don't know, to me it didn't say steam, so I changed it up to I believe it's ecru, the same color that's in the windows here. And it doesn't show up on camera that great, but it does show up nicely in person. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Not quite sure how I'm going to finish that one off yet, but I'll figure something out, I'm sure. And I have one other finish. It's the first part of the Sense and Sensibility stitch along from that's part of the Stitching Book Club. I bought the kit, and I'm using all of the kit materials. So this was pretty quick, and I'm happy to be caught up on it. I worry about stitch alongs because I'm not real great with keeping up, and then they get put aside. But I really like how this is coming out. This was fun. It's a nice blue, and the colors are nice and bright. Kind of feels good after winter, and we're finally starting to get some sun here in upstate New York. So it really kind of felt good to work on. And I know Pam from Stitching in the Land of Good Enough, she bought the Aida kit, and she said her color was not all that different from the 14 count, I think it's Charles Craft. The Aida you can find in like Hobby Lobby and Michael's. And I didn't buy a tube of the Monaco, but I did kind of mentally make a check. I was in Hobby Lobby last night, and the even weave fabric, the color is quite a bit different. It's brighter, doesn't have as much gray in it. I know we were both wondering how that compared, but that color, if you're looking to start the stitch along and you didn't buy a kit from Sapphire Mountain, that color would work too. I think the white would show up nicely on that. But I'm pleased with this. I can't wait to see more. I've actually started reading the book. I got to check what our discussion dates are. The book's one of my favorites, and I can't wait to see more of the chart. So that's all of my finishes, but for me, three is pretty good, especially since I've got school going on. I'm taking a composition class. I couldn't get out of taking that. So I've been doing a lot of writing, and there's been a lot of participation with that. So I haven't had as much time as I would like to stitch, but I've had more than I actually expected so far. But the next two, the essay that we're working on now and the piece that we have to write for our next assignment, are both going to be quite a bit of work. So I may not have as much stitching time coming up here. But since I finished off the piece that I take to work with me at the 911 Center, I started something new, and I think I talked about this earlier when I talked about my plans for 2021. You can see behind me here, I have Diva by Bobby G Designs. Stitched that quite a while ago, got it framed recently. And there are two others that are shoes. And if you haven't guessed from the title of my channel, Stitching in High Heels, I kind of maybe have a shoe thing. Wouldn't know it in the last year because I've been working mostly from home. But when I do go to the office and dress, I'm generally in heels. So the next one that I started is Vixen. And I just wanted to do something with some fun colors. So I got this started. I'm actually got some decent progress on it, which you'll see in a minute, with 2 shifts of stitching. The phones have been kind of not busy, which is normal for us this time of year. People are inside, there's not all that much going on. Thankfully, even COVID-wise, we haven't had that many calls for that. So here's what the piece will look like. I'm stitching this on a piece of 28 count opalescent linen, just plain white, because the colors in the 3 different pieces are kind of different. And actually, when I stitched Diva, I think I stitched that before hand dyes were kind of a big thing. So I want them all to kind of go together. So here's where I am so far in this. I have that whole purple swirl finished. Not sure if I'm gonna next try to do the black checkerboard, because that can be kind of mindless, kind of easy, can also be a little bit boring, or if I'm going to get into the shoe next, because the shoe is a really cool pink. I think it's 3806 is the color. Anyway, it's one I haven't used before. It's kind of bright. Looking forward to getting into that. So there's where I'm at with that. Definitely won't be a February finish, but we'll see. Maybe I can knock it out in March. I'm not going to use the Q word when it relates to the 911 center. Anybody who's in any kind of emergency services, you know that we don't say that word. It's guaranteed to make the rest of your shift and probably the next couple very, very busy. But so while I've been home and in the evenings, actually in the last year, I've kind of been splitting my stitching. I have a piece, generally keep a piece in my office that I work on during conference calls and meetings. And then I have another piece that I keep in the living room while my husband and I are watching TV. So that's pretty cool. That's been kind of helping me get progress on some different pieces as well. And I've got a whole bunch of things that I want to start, like everyone else, but so far I've been kind of working towards my goal of having less whips at the end of 2021, or now that I think about it, maybe it's just going to be different whips at the end of 2021. You never know. But anyway, I've been working on Winter Quakers from Rosewood Manor. I started this actually 2 years ago. A friend of mine had surgery to repair her Achilles tendon, and she lives in Kentucky. And I went for a long weekend because I had a long weekend from work, so I went to help her out. She wasn't able to drive, and she had family members helping her. I went to kind of give everybody a break and give myself a break. So while I was there, we did a lot of Netflix watching, and she's a stitcher as well. So we did a lot of Netflix watching and crafting, and I did start this, although I didn't get that much done, and I haven't picked it up since. So I'm using the called for materials, which means I'm stitching this on cashel 28 count linen in the color Dwarf from Picture This Plus, and I bought the thread kit. This is all Valdani threads, the first time I'm using them. And here's where I'm at. I've been mostly working in the center here on this motif. When I started it, I had worked this outside border and some of these other ones. So I've been working in here. It's kind of nice, the Valdani threads, you just pull them off the spool, and I believe they're 3-strand, but for this project it's recommended to just use them as they come off the spool, except for some of the back stitching that'll be in later. So it's, what typical Rosewood Manor chart, really easy to read, easy to work with. The symbols are nice and clear, and I just, by the time I sit down in the evening, I've been kind of tired, and I've been putting a length of thread or so in and then putting it down. But I'm pleased with the progress. I can't wait to work some more on that, and I'll keep going with that for a while, I think. And my piece for working on conference calls and meetings is Trick or Treat Fairy. This I started, it's by Nora Corbett from Mirabilia, and it's in the September 2008 Cross Stitch and Needlework magazine. And I started this, I joined the Facebook group, the monthly magazine cross stitch challenge, I think is the name of the group. Robin from Bird's Eye Stitches, she's one of the founders, and it's a fun group. They do a lot. I mostly stick to the main challenge, and it's trying to get some of those pieces that we want to do from magazines, trying to get them out and get them started. So this was my October start, and here's what she looked like in the magazine. Kind of sorry about the glare between my light, and it's pretty bright here. It's around 11 o'clock, and I don't think I said this before, it is Friday, February 26th. So this is what the finished piece, the model, looks like. I am using the same count fabric. It was a 32 count that it called for, but I'm using Dapple Belfast from Picture This Plus, and here's where I'm at. I'm started, these are all metallics down here, so I got pretty good start on them, and I don't know if you can see really well. There's a piece of it. Now I'm starting to work on the spider webs between all the vines. They're called to be back stitches. I honestly really thought they looked, when I did the first one I did was over in here, and I did it as back stitching, and it looked kind of clumsy and awkward, and these are supposed to be, spider webs, so I'm actually doing them as long stitches or straight stitches. I kind of like the way they look better, and especially I'm sure this is going to be framed, so once I get it mounted and stretched, they'll lie just fine on the fabric. And then some of them, like if you can see this one down here, there's some stitches that go across, so that kind of helps anchor them, and I think that'll be good. So hopefully, I got another call this afternoon, so hopefully I'll get all the spider webs on the bottom finished, and then it's moving up. Then what I'll have left is the metallics in her headdress here, the moon, and there's some metallics here, and then it's all beading. I don't know if I'm going to try to do beading while I'm on a conference call. So I'll probably take a weekend day and put the beads on her. I'd like to get her finished and knock another whip off the list. And I have somebody I think that wants the magazine, since I've stitched everything I wanted from it. There was a pillow in it that I did, and another border sampler that I did a piece of and wasn't having fun. So I think I'm going to send the magazine. There's somebody in one of my Facebook groups who said she would swap charts with me, and I pretty much got the Mirabilias that I want, so I'll just send this to her and kind of reduce my magazine stash too. That's all my stitching progress. I'm actually pretty pleased with it, and I do have an FFO to show you. This is why I was in Hobby Lobby last night. This is a piece that I stitched in 1995. I finished it from the date on it. It's stitched on 14 count black Aida with all the called for DMCs. It's by Marilyn Levitt Imblum. I think this is a lavender and lace chart. I don't think it's a butternut road. This is Lady of the Threads, and it's definitely one of her earlier. Oh, you can see my ring light there. Let me see if I can get, okay. There's still a little bit of glare on her, and it's so bright that there's going to be glare no matter what I do. I'm really pleased. I have a really great guy that I work with at my local Hobby Lobby. He's a stitcher, or a former stitcher. He says he doesn't do it much anymore, but he doesn't even lace, he pins all of the piece needlework that he frames. I don't know if that's a standard for Hobby Lobby or if that's how he does it. He's also got a really great eye for color. He helped me pick out the mats, and he actually, I was just gonna have this matted and framed, and when I picked it up, we've worked together on a bunch of pieces, and he said, I hope you don't mind. He said, but I thought it just was going to look so much better to make the oval shape in the top of the frame. So I'm really pleased with how this came out. I've got two colors of green in the matting. I'm not sure. I think they're looking a little grayish here on camera. But I really like how they came out. And let's see if I can get a close-up on the corner of the frame for you. It's going to be kind of tough. It's pretty much a plain frame. It's almost a little bit like leather, old leather in here. And then there's a little bit of a design on the top of the frame. You can kind of see it a little bit there. Probably should have waited till tonight to do this video. It would have been a little better with just light. So this is, initially I was thinking I was going to frame her up here in my stitching room, but my living room walls are brown and green, so I think she may end up hanging in the living room at least for a while. So I'm very happy with how that came out. Kind of happy to finally have her framed and ready to go up on the wall. Other than that, what have we got going on? I do have a little bit of stash to share. I've apparently been on a kit kick. I ordered the opalescent linen for Vixen from 123 Stitch. I actually ordered a piece for Vixen, and I have the last shoe, so I bought 2 pieces of that. And to go along with it, I picked up 2 Mill Hill snowflake kits. They're snow crystals. This is Star Crystal. That's what that one will look like. And this one is Ice Crystal. Figured they would be, quite a bit of glare. There we go. Figured they'd be kind of nice, probably maybe even car kits, because they come with, you can see they come with everything. There's the perforated paper, the floss, the beads. So I'm looking forward to starting on them. And then I also picked up, Cardinals are my favorite birds, and I picked up, what is this? Frosty Morning is the name of this one. And this is another perforated paper kit that I'll probably, glare is horrible. So I'll probably just pick up, I like putting these in the Mill Hill frames. They're pretty simple, and they go nicely. So I'll probably pick that up as well. Hey, Zoe. So one of the dogs just came in, so if you hear her nails tapping on the floor, I'm sorry for that. Then I did also place an order with the Silver Needle. They had a Super Bowl sale, so I picked up a couple of things. I've seen, I forget who I saw was working on these, but these are they're Fragments in Time from Summer House Stitch Works, and this is numbers 1 and 2. This one is called a Pink. Apparently that's the name of that particular type of ship. I like boats and ships, but I don't know that much about them. And this one is, I think this is called Sunrise. I believe this is number 1 and the pink is number 2. So I did an auto ship on these with Silver Needle, so I'll get them all. I like the colors in them. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing them as individual pieces or if I'm going to do them all on one. There's a complimentary border that came with this, with the layout. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do that, the free border, or if I'm going to do them as individuals. And then I got all the threads for them, so you can see the colors. I really like the blues and the golds. So more to come on that. I'm sure I've got fabric in my stash, and that might be part of my decision whether I have bigger pieces or smaller pieces. I also picked up, I know a lot of you have seen this already, this is Love Notes from Brenda Gervais. Didn't get any of these done for Valentine's Day, but I'll probably work on them at some point. I picked up the Heart and Hand 2021, well, the glare on that is bad. I should have taken these out, I'm sorry. The 2021 Collector's Heart. So this one comes with both designs. I've been doing these for a while. I kind of stumbled on them. I tend to do one a year. The smaller ones have been my husband's Christmas present in my husband's Christmas stocking, and then I've finished them as ornaments to go on our tree. So this comes with, it's got a few beads you can see down here. Let's see if I can get this closer with some glare. It's got a few beads and a charm, and then the 2 pieces of linen for the smaller design and the larger design. So you just have to add your own floss. I'm not sure, I haven't looked at it close enough to know what flosses it calls for. I'm sure if I don't have what's called for, I've got good substitutions or DMC that'll work just fine. And then I also picked up, this is another kit. You can see it's got everything in it on the back. This is To All a Good Night by Shepherd's Bush, and it's a kit, fully kit. I kind of like this. I'm not sure how big it's supposed to be. I'm hoping I can do it. Looks like they finished it as, sorry for the glare there. Looks like they finished it as a pillow, and it's got chenille on it. I'm hoping it's a decent enough size that I can maybe do it as a pillow ornament or even a flat fold. It's got, looks like, I think it's felt for the backing. Actually, it's not. It's got a print on it. It's a real pretty print for the backing, this green, and it's got a little red berries on it. So we'll see. I don't know for sure when I'll start that. The fact that it's a kit makes it pretty easy. And then my the last thing I got is Debbie's Designs. She does counted canvas, and she's doing a monthly series, and I picked up January. I think I showed it. And then this one is February. You know what? I'm going to take this out because, pardon the crinkling, but the glare has been crazy. So this one, they're all 8 inches square, and they come with the canvas, the charts, the instructions. They're kind of a bit of a learning series, I think she said. And they're all 8 by 8 canvas, and the finished size is about 4 inches square. So here is, what's this? February Mended Heart is the name of this one. And it comes with all the supplies. This one uses some rainbow gallery threads, some Krynex, and they're all reds and golds. So I imagine one of these will probably get started. And actually, she even throws in a couple of needles for it, and all the materials. I can't see my screen right now. There's probably pretty good glare on that. So there's all the materials. So that's my stash. That's my progress and my finished projects. Pretty much all that's left is plans. I don't know if any of you have heard about March Mayhem. Cheryl McKinney from Tranquil Stitches was talking about it. And she actually had a series of videos where she picked the projects that she's going to start. She's got some new starts going on. There's a Facebook group for that as well. I'll link below. But that starts March 1st, which, holy cow, I can't believe it's almost March already. That will start on March 1st. And my goal for March Mayhem, because work is busy, classes are busy, I just want to stitch one thread a day, whether it's on my conference call piece, my piece for the 911 center, or my evening stitching piece. So that's my goal. 31 days, at least 31 lengths of floss, hopefully more. I'm going to continue working on Winter Quaker until it doesn't call for me anymore. I find if I set goals to work on specific projects, my stitching mojo turns into a little bit of a teenage rebel kind of viewpoint, and then I don't want to work on it. So keep going on Winter Quakers till I don't want to work on that anymore, and then hopefully I'll pull Leeds House Sampler out again and get some more done on that. I'd love to have that finished for our anniversary this year. I don't know how realistic that is. Yeah, refer back to my rebellious teenage stitching mojo comment. I'm gonna keep working on Trick or Treat, at least until all the metallics are done on conference calls. Hopefully that won't take too long to get that finished up, and then I can get the beading done on her. And when I'm at 901, I'll keep working on Vixen. So those are my definites. We'll see what else comes up between now and the time I get to visit with you again. Tentatively right now, life-wise, our office is planning on a very limited return, and I'll be working in the office 1 week a month, or every fourth week is kind of how they're phrasing it. I have to say, it's not totally breaking my heart. I drive an hour each way to my office, so not having the commute adds to stitching time. And as the weather's getting nicer, hopefully that'll hold out for a little bit. I'll get some more time in with my husband on our motorcycles. Hopefully we'll be able to get them out in about a month. Do some short rides in the evenings after work, and some time to take my dogs to the dog park. We're trying to arrange a play date for later today. I'm going to duck out of work a little bit early. I noticed last night that we have reasonable daylight until 5:30, almost 5:45 here. So that should get us some good time in. Some of their friends are going, so that should be fun. Other than that, hope everybody's getting some good stitching time in. I will get to comments. Definitely, please leave me comments. Say hello. Let me know you're there. Let me know what you like, what you don't like. And I'll see you soon. Have a good day, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.